fans are seeing a problem with this, it is either because of two reasons. Either their team is not competent enough to win penalties in the rivals' penalty box, either that, or they're just simply jealous. I would not like to say that. It's
No,
not
you
that.
no, you can say that. You can say that here. It's a very biased channel, so don't worry. You can say that.
Then
Hello, guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't been uploading a lot lately, but I'm back, I guess. So today I'm joined by Salman and Archishman. You can check his Instagram page. The link is in the description. He posts daily updates about Manchester United. I upload some of my videos in IGTV too in their page, so you can check it out. So today we'll be discussing about VAR in general and whether Man United have been getting a lot of favor from VAR this season, whether the officials have been favoring us this season. Allegedly, that's what the general notion is. I checked Twitter last day, and everyone was talking about this, especially after the Bruno incident, for Bruno Fernandes's penalty against Aston Villa. So I'll ask you guys, what is your stand on VAR? Do you think it has been effective? Do you think it's still leading to wrong decisions despite having all the technologies? What is your stand on VAR? Has it been a success this season?
Well, I think there are obviously many gray areas there because they haven't completely figured out what they want to do exactly with it. Like some of the areas such as the handball decisions, like even if it's accidental, it will still be given. So I think they need to work over that a bit. And I've seen that referees in the Premier League don't usually use the screen that is off the field to check out if they agree with the VR decision or not. So they need to start doing it more. So yeah, these are some of the things that they need to fix.
I agree with Salman in that thing he just said. And this the instant that it happened was the Eddie Nketiah red card that happened, I guess, for the Arsenal game, where the referee checked the screen. That happens mostly in the Champions League matches, if I am not wrong, and this has to take place more in the Premier League matches. And my point of view about Manchester United winning a lot of penalties is that we have a lot of nimble-footed players. For example, Marcus Rashford, we have Anthony Martial, we have Bruno Fernandes now, we have Mason Greenwood, we have Paul Pogba. That opposition defenders do not cope with very well in the penalty box. And that is why, from my point of view, I guess we have been winning a lot of penalties. Although one might joke that nature is healing when Manchester United have the referees in the pocket once again.
Yeah.
Howard Webb looking down at us with pride.
Yeah,
So,
just
yeah,
looking through social media, you can see VARchester United, Bruno Fernandes. It's a sense of deja vu, taking me back to Sir Alex days when Howard Webb was supposedly in the
Exactly.
pockets.
So coming back to VAR and the wrong decisions that VAR has led to, we have benefited a lot from VAR. I have the stats with me. Let's just say Bruno's penalty that was against Aston Villa. Do you think that was a penalty? Like, do you think that was a penalty? I personally don't feel that was a penalty.
Like my heart
I
is saying
don't
yes,
feel
but
that
my
was a
mind
penalty.
is saying no because it wasn't.
No, but as a
then
neutral,
again,
yeah,
as a neutral, I can't be as a neutral though because I am a United fan first. So I just,
yeah. But if you're
Exactly.
not,
biasness in me is just, peeping out. So
look,
I
the
just,
irony
You
is that
know, but I would like to point out that Bruno tried to get to the ball first, and that is when the tackle came in. He did stamp on him. He did stamp on the defender, but I think it was Konza. I think it was Konza that the defender
yeah.
was. But
Konsa,
Konza made an attempt to get to the ball, and Bruno did the same. And Konza then made the tackle. It was not as strong as Bruno made it out to be, but Bruno did not initiate. Bruno did not initiate the tackle in any way. It was not as if he wanted. It was not as if he wanted to fall down. He wanted to get to the ball, and that is when Konza went for the ball as well, and there was a collision, and that is what happened.
yeah,
And
but that
you
was
may have
harsh.
every.
See, that
Yeah, but
was
that
It was
was
a little
harsh.
harsh on
harsh.
Aston
Yeah, I
Villa.
agree with you. That's harsh. But as far as VAR and the rules and regulations
We
of the
have seen them
penalty area is
given. We have
concerned,
seen them given.
there was no exact rule broken in this case because the rule clearly says that if it is an clear and obvious error, then the VAR will overturn the decision of the referee.
Exactly.
If not, the decision of the referee will stand. So as far as rules are concerned,
Exactly.
no rules were broken. that they have to fix over after the season ends. They have to look over some gray areas that are there in football right now concerning VAR. They have to look at that after the season ends. Oh, we have lost him.
Yeah, so this was one incident that I wanted to put some light on. Another incident was against Everton when we faced Everton at Goodison Park. Everton had scored in the last minute. Calvert-Lewin had scored, but it was disallowed because apparently Gylfi Sigurdsson was obstructing the line of sight of De Gea.
Yeah.
So that was one incident. Another incident which I think maybe that should have been a goal. Maybe the decision was right. So what do you think? And there was another incident that I would like to put some light on. Maguire's kick on Batshuayi in United versus Chelsea's match, where he apparently kicked Batshuayi while after having fallen down on the sidelines. I don't know if you remember. So that could have been a red card. That probably should have been a red card, but it wasn't given. So if you look at the stats, the amount of times United have benefited from VAR, it's +7, and that is the highest in the league. And United have a net subjective score of +5. So the subjective decisions have been favouring United this season. Clearly, the stats show that, which is more than any other team in the Premier League. So do you think? So I'll just ask you: Is this VAR? Is VAR the problem, or are the officials in general favouring United? Like
I
as you
would
said,
like
your
to.
inside Alex is
I
telling.
would say that it's sort of VAR, and it's the officiating as a whole in England has been the problem since a long time.
Exactly.
This is not the first time this has been happening. We have seen a lot of horrific decisions in the Premier League since a long time. Like, how is Mike Dean still a Premier League official? We have seen howlers from him since since I can say Steven Gerrard has been slipping on the pitch. I have been seeing howlers from him. So, like, the standard of officiating in the English Premier League is that bad. Like, you can imagine how bad the standard of officiating there is. That Mike Dean is the topmost referee. You can just imagine how bad the standard is. And these sort of referees are now acting as video assistant referees. So if you cannot expect anything good coming from them on the pitch, I don't think you can expect anything good coming from them behind cameras and stuff. You can see the same thing happening. You can see the same thing happening in La Liga as well. Like, a lot of people say that Real Madrid are being favored. Real Madrid are being favored. Although it might be a different case there, we all know how Real Madrid and Barcelona are favored. But I still think that it might be due to poor officiating and not due to any sort of bias. Although if you scroll through social media, you will find a lot of people that still think Fergie used to slip $20 into Howard Webb's pocket before matches. But yeah, the problem of the like if you watch United's matches carefully, you will see except the penalty decisions, a lot of crucial decisions go against us. Like a lot of offside calls. For example, in our 5-2 win against Bournemouth, Rashford was onside when he scored that goal,
Yeah, the
and yet
sixth
it was
goal.
ruled offside. The sixth goal was
That's crazy.
onside, and yet
Yeah.
it was ruled offside. So the whole of officiating has to be like the whole of officiating in England is rotten from the core, as far as I believe. Like,
Yeah. So
the
after
officials there are not on par.
after Bruno's penalty was given, Man United legend Peter Schmeichel had tweeted that VAR is a disgrace and that shouldn't have been a penalty. And Jamie Carragher replied to his tweet saying that VAR is just the monitor in front of the officials. There is
Yeah,
always an official sitting behind the screen. So VAR has basically just exposed two things: the high number of decisions that the Premier League referees are getting wrong, and the poor standards of officiating despite having all the technology. And I think Arsene Wenger was right when he said that there is a reason why there is not a single Premier League referee that was going to officiate in the 2018 World Cup in Russia. There was not a
Yeah,
exactly.
single referee
exactly.
from the
There you
Premier
go.
League. Yeah, so basically, it's the entire problem is stands with the Premier League referees. The way of officiating, it's not good enough.
Yeah, definitely. And I distinctly remember, like last season, this season it's us. Last season it was Liverpool because they were getting a lot of decisions in their favor last season, like that offside goal against West Ham away. So
West
it's
Ham,
not
yeah.
just us; it's different teams as well. Obviously, all the fans
And
of the
we
rival clubs will come at the fans of the team that they support. So that's just normal. I don't think we should pay any more heed to it because
Yeah,
we
and
can't.
plus we are not the if I may, we are not the only team that has been getting away with stuff like this. If you remember, Virgin van Dijk had a clear handball that was not given a penalty.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
remember,
Yeah.
there have been a lot of instances where refereeing has been dispo, and like it has like in case of Liverpool, it has just been called a poor refereeing decision. But since it has taken place repeatedly in case of Manchester United, it has been called bias because fans still have PTSD of Howard Webb doing all that stuff. So that is why this is all of this is happening.
But still,
Yes,
I'd like to share a stat. Manchester United
yeah.
have been awarded 13 of the 79 penalties taken in this season of the Premier League, 16.5%, which is the highest proportion of any side in the competition's history. So, I mean, as a Man United fan, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But if you support any other club, then you might think otherwise. You might think that we have been, VAR has been favoring us. The officials have been favoring us a lot.
I would give props. I would give props to coaching. To be honest, if I had 13 penalties this season, I would give props to coaching. I would go to Ole and I would say, you are coaching our players brilliantly. You are coaching our players in such a way that the opposition defenders are not being able to cope with them in the penalty box. You're coaching them in such a way that the defenders are looking at each other and they're saying we can't make any mistakes. If we make a single mistake, either they will score or we're gonna give away a penalty. So this is something that we have to continue. So if rival fans are seeing a problem with this, it is either because of two reasons. Either their team is not competent enough to win penalties in the rivals penalty box, either that, or they're just simply jealous. I would not like to say that. It's
No,
not
you
that.
no, you can say that. You can say that here. It's a very biased channel, so don't worry. You can say that.
Then they are a little jealous because if you remember during the time of Sir Alex, we used to get dodgy decisions given to us all the time, and it used to boil the pace of our rivals. Since it hasn't happened in the past 7 years, it has calmed their nerves down. But since it has happened this year a little bit, it is flaring up the PTSD, and this is happening. This all the outrage is coming pouring back. So I guess I don't think it is any there is any bias towards us, but I'd give some props to Ole and Carrick and McKenna for coaching our players properly. I would want some. I would ask Salman if he agrees.
Yeah, definitely. I would. It's kudos to the attacking team because the attacking prowess that this United team currently has, they create such a situation that the defenders don't have any choice but to foul them and concede a penalty. So I think it's down to the players as well because they are so explosive while attacking that the defenders have no choice but to foul them. So I completely agree with Archie here.
So that was it for today's discussion, guys. Thank you for watching. As you guys know, United are very close to signing Sancho, so we'll be uploading another video about transfers and stuff. So stay tuned for that. And as far as VR is concerned, no one really knows what the Premier League officials are up to. So yeah, that's it. If you guys like the video, if you guys like such discussion videos, then make sure to press the like button, subscribe, share, and yeah. And until the next video, stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon.